What's up, everybody? Okay, today I'm going to show you some basics with Adobe Illustrator, and what we're going to do is try to make a thumbnail graphic that we can put onto YouTube, uh, to represent the whatever sporting event is happening on that YouTube episode. So I've got a template here, and you will have downloaded this same thing on Canvas. So this is what it looks like when you open it in Illustrator. If we go over here on the right, you will see that we have one layer, and then inside that is four groups. So we have the two volleyballs and then the two logos. You are welcome to keep the lion here, but then I'm going to show you how to switch out the volleyball with a different sports representation and how to get the other team's logo in here. So tonight is our playoff match against the Alta Hawks. I think that's what their mascot is, basketball. So I'll just make one for tonight's game and you can see how it works. First thing though, a few tips with Illustrator that will come in handy for you. If you want to zoom in on this so you can see more details, we do have the magnifying glass tool that you can use. And if you click and hold on it, nope, I guess it doesn't switch to the negative. Hold the Option key then. Hold Option and click and it zooms out. Okay? Or if a shortcut for that, hold the space bar. Even if you're on the arrow tool, hold the space bar. It'll switch to the hand where you can move this around. But while you're holding space, if you also push down Command, it switches to magnifying glass. If you do space, Command, and Option, then it zoom out. So those are things that I use all the time that might be useful for you. Okay, first thing, we need a basketball graphic. So I'm going to go here and search basketball clip art. It's usually easier to work with something that looks kind of cartoony like this. If it's a photograph, you'll have a hard time converting the colors. Okay, so we have a few options here. Oh yeah, we want to go to images. So it brings up all these. These ones look a little more realistic, because it's got the spotlight shining on it. But it is going to be harder for you in the long run because we're going to turn it into solid colors, and so these kind of things don't work as well. It's doable, but it'll be more work for you. So I'm going to use, let's do this one. This will be a good demonstration. So first you want to click on it here so that the big one opens. If you just download the thumbnail here, it will be very small. But even this is pretty small, but we can work with it. So I will right click on this and save image as. Okay, then we just hit save. It's going to go in our downloads folder. That's fine. Okay, we got the basketball. Now while I'm here, let's look for Alta Hawks logo. And we can choose which one of these we want. For our purposes, since this is just the lion without any words on it, let's go with just the hawk without any words. Then same thing, save image as, and this one I'll rename so I know what it is. Okay, now we've got our two pictures here. If you're using Safari, then I don't think they show up at the bottom, but what you can do is just click on Finder, then in your Finder window go to Downloads. If you sort it by date modified, then it should be the two top things there. I'll just select both of those, right click, and open with Adobe Illustrator. There we go. This was a deceptive PNG file. Usually this tiled thing means that it's transparent background, but no, this is just a picture of tiles in the background. That's fine. I'll show show you how to get rid of that, and then we've got the hawk here. All right, so let's do the hawk first. So I'm just going to go here and I can select this, right click on it. Oh, there is no copy option if you right click. Okay, so go up here, copy, then go over here, edit, paste. Okay, so first thing you'll notice is that this picture has a white background rectangle around it, which does not work for our purposes. So this is step one of the process, is to change this from a picture into a vector image, like these things. See how I can hover over any part of this, same with the volleyball. If it's a vector image, it's much easier to change the colors and manipulate it and all that kind of stuff. So that's what we'll do, and that'll help us get rid of this white background. So over here in the Properties tab, make sure that this one's selected, that you've clicked on it, and then we're going to click this button, Image Trace. Now we need to choose the quality of image tracing we're going to do, and with something like this you don't need to go overboard with it because it doesn't have that many colors in it to begin with. So I think we're going to go with 6 colors. I'm sure that's more than we need. I'll just show you what happens if we do black and white logo. So it analyzes all the colors and says, okay, is that color closer to white or closer to black, and then makes black and white logo out of it. You can also go into the settings here if you click this little button, and then here you can change the threshold where it makes either more things white or more things black. Okay, but we are not doing the black and white logo. We're going to keep some colors. So let's do 6 colors. Okay, looks good. Now, once we've got that, we're going to click Expand. Okay, and now we know it's expanded because now we have some different options. So don't need to do anything with this. And now we're just going to click somewhere else to deselect it. Okay, oh. So it's still just one picture, and we can't change anything except the size of the whole thing in its entirety. So what we're going to do is double click on this picture. Any part of it, double click. Now we are inside this picture layer. See how up here it says group and layer 1. Now when I click on it, I can select individual parts. So basically anything that's one continuous color, so this part of his forehead or part of his cheek or his eyeball. Now that's individually selectable. So I'm going to click on the white rectangle of the background, and with that selected I just hit delete. Now it is gone. And that's all I need to do with this. I don't need to change any colors or anything. So now I can double click on anywhere else on the screen, and now we're back to the full document, and whatever I select, it's the whole thing again. So again, to go inside it, just double click on the picture. Everything else turns lighter, so we know that we're inside this. And now if I clicked and dragged it, it would move those different parts around. Undo that, double click somewhere outside it to get back. Okay, so now I'm going to resize this so it, notice when you're resizing things, you have the potential to distort it, either too skinny or too wide. So instead, if you hold the shift button down while you're dragging the size, so I'm holding shift, and now I can't make it taller or wider or anything. It just keeps the same proportions. That looks good. Except we want it facing the other way, right? So an easy way to do that would be to click the edge and drag it this way. But then you don't necessarily know if you've stretched it out too far or something. But we'll call that good. Let's see, I think the other thing you can do is object, transform, reflect. That's what you can do. And then you choose vertical, horizontal, whichever. Okay. So, you can make it face that way. Now I'm going to get rid of the skyhawk. So you can either just click on it and delete, or if you want to get into the layers here, you can see it there. Just click on the little dot here next to it so that that's the thing that's selected. And we can hit delete. All right. Next thing, let's get the basketball in there. So I'm going to keep the volleyballs for now just so I know what size to make the basketball. So again, select this, edit, copy, go to this one, edit, paste. Okay, so here it pasted it on the top layer. So that's fine for now. I'll move that afterwards. Let's make this about the size that we want it. Something like that. Okay, and now in our properties, again, we're going to go image trace, especially for something like this because you can probably see how pixelated the edges are because it was a low res JPEG or PNG file, so you got a lot of, pixelization going on here on the edges. So this will help with that, the image trace. Click that, and yeah, let's do 3 colors again. Oh, we did 6 colors last time. 3 colors does not cut it. Let's try 6. There we go. All right, so got some kind of jagged edges because of the pixelization going on. But I can live with that for this project. There are ways you can smooth that out, but that's more than you guys need to know at this point. Okay, so I'm happy with that, but remember you have to click expand. If I don't click that, I haven't done anything yet. It hasn't made the changes permanent. It's just showing you what it will look like. So expand. Now it has separated them each into their own little piece, but still it's grouped as an object. So let's double click on it to go inside the group. Now here's where we can manipulate colors and delete certain things that we don't want. So in this case, we want to get rid of all of this grid, but it's you can't just click on one thing and have it select the whole grid. Instead, I'm going to click on one of these white squares and then go up here to select same fill color. So now everything that is that white color has been selected, and I can hit delete. All those white squares are gone. Whoa, what was that? Oh, we're seeing the volleyball behind it. Okay. Do the same thing with the gray squares. Looks like the white squares are still there because they're white, but no, notice nothing shows up when you hover over them. So select a gray square, same thing, select same fill color. All the gray squares are selected, hit delete. Now they're all gone. Now let's change this basketball to match the colors of the Skyhawks. What are their colors? Let's go out of this and see. Okay. There we go. Select same fill color. Okay. Now, we could try and change it to match this, but the easier way, let's just go to the eyedropper tool and let's hover over one of these gray colors. Click on that. See how it changed it? So it changes there, and it changes whatever you had selected. Whatever you click on, it'll change to match that color. So this inner one, let's do the lighter gray there. Now notice, because we did 6 colors, there's part of this inside here. Here's where we're going to zoom in. This stuff is a different color from that, so we got to do this twice. Select same fill color. Looks like we got all of that. Okay, then same eyedropper. Boom. Got it. All right, now this one, let's make this the darker gray. Same fill color, eyedropper, and we'll choose that gray. Cool. And then the black we can leave as it is. Double click the background, move that into place. Here is where the spacebar comes in handy with the hand, so I can just move the whole screen over. Let's make this about the size of the volleyball. Alright, now is when we can go layers. I'm just going to select this basketball and move it to the bottom. And now I will select the volleyball. Click on this circle here, volleyball selected, delete. Okay. Now that I look at it, I don't know, we might want to change the colors of the basketball. It might be a little too matchy-matchy or something. But I'll leave that up to you guys. You can make whatever colors you want for the stuff. Okay, now let's move this same basketball over here instead of this volleyball. So select the basketball, edit, copy, then just edit, paste. We've got this one. Let's move it over so we can get the same colors here. Go inside of it, select this, same fill color. All of that light gray is now selected. Change it to this light green. Okay, now let's do the darker part. Select same fill color, eyedropper, click on the darker green. Cool. Double click outside the layer, move this into place, move it below the volleyball. What happened there? I'm going to undo. Oh, it's just, for some reason in the thumbnail here it still thinks it's gray. That's fine. Select the volleyball, delete that. There we go. Okay, so now we are pretty much done. Last thing we need to do is File, Save As, and let's name this PHS versus Alta thumbnail. You can choose what folder you want it to save in. Sure, we'll put it in pictures. Then we hit save. Click OK on all this. Alright, but this is still a Illustrator file, .ai, meaning you can only open it in Adobe Illustrator. So we're going to save it one more time. This time, instead of save as, we go export, export for screens. And here, click on the word artboard, Payson versus Alta basketball. And here we want this to say PNG, and then we can export artboard. Again, it's going into pictures. If you want to change it, just click on the folder here. Export artboard, goes into our pictures folder, and it also made this folder called one times. So there it is, Payson versus Alta. This one is a PNG file which can be uploaded to YouTube, and we'll also keep the transparent background. So there we go, there's our thumbnail. If you want to hang around, I'm going to change the colors on this just because it's bugging me, but otherwise you know everything you need to know. I'm going to go in here, select same fill color, all of those. Now I'm going to double click this. I'm thinking I'll just make this, just going to drag this down to slightly darker, like that. And now make this one even darker too. So select same fill color, double click there, drag that down like that. I don't know, it's just all too gray, you know? Maybe we should get some red in there. We'll do a red basketball. I think that'll look better. So let's, I'm going to move this to the side so I can still access that red color while I'm inside this. And just to speed up the process, this time when I select same fill color, I'm going to go group. Now, anytime I click on any one of these, it selects everything that's that color. I'll do the same with this darker gray. Select same fill color, group. Boom. Okay. Now, with that selected, let's try and eyedrop this red. A little hard to get right on it. There we go. Okay. In this case, I think we want this part to be the darker red and this part lighter. So let's just go inside here. Hue, saturation, and brightness is what these three numbers stand for. So I'm going to just bring the brightness to, let's do 75 instead. See how it just brought that straight up? And said OK. Cool. Now select that one, eyedropper, and here we can just use the same color of red. There we go. Okay, let's see how that looks now. Go out of it. That looks better. If you have too much of the same color, then I don't know, you just don't have enough contrast and it doesn't stand out, but I think that looks pretty cool. Okay, I'm going to save this one. There we go. Looks great, at least to a colorblind guy like me. And again, we could smooth these out, but that'll take a lot longer than it's worth at the moment. We'll see y'all later.